What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So you already know, man. Obviously, last night was Game 3 between the Suns and the Clippers. The Clippers being the fifth seed, they now get a home game for Game 3, and right before the game, I guess a couple hours before the game, all of a sudden a notification, Kawhi is gonna be out for Game 3. Like, god damn, yo. Like, one, we've we've been waiting. Like, as a hoop fan, obviously it's unfortunate that one of them has to be out in the first round, Kawhi and KD, but that's a Hooper's dream, waiting for a Kawhi versus KD versus Kawhi type of series, and you've been getting that. It was definitely box office in Game 1. Kawhi putting it up, you know what I mean, putting up points and had 38 and was going to work. See me when I work, you feel me? KD going to work too, basically triple dub. I think he even got it. And, a steal from the Clippers in Game 1. Westbrook, tip your hat off to the energy, even though he shot horrendous. People don't understand. This is why I rate Westbrook, and I've always said he's a dog, and he's someone who I would never. There's only a level of critique I could give Westbrook, because even though he has deficiencies, we get it. If you let him be himself, his deficiencies, he's a gift and a curse. He's gonna have moments where he makes turnovers and his body's moving too fast for his mind, or his mind just brain farts. But he's gonna have a lot of moments where you see the defense he's playing, blocking KD, all these back taps, even though some of them were fouls, it don't matter. The aggression, the energy, chasing you down, blocking D-Book, like just the aggression, the defense, great defense that he played. And then the hustle, the energy on the rebounds, offensive rebounds, like getting second chance opportunities and passing to Kawhi for a three. Like, he literally was the difference maker in the clutch time. It wasn't even though Kawhi put in work, but the main difference maker, because when Kawhi was putting in work, Suns were still up in the clutch because KD was hitting threes. Like, it was a battle. It was a Hooper's dream. It was a battle. But the Westbrook, the extra rebounds, the extra back taps, that propelled them. The block on D-Book, like, in the clutch when they needed a three. You know what I mean? Like, dog, like, Russ, I rate him. I've always have. And a lot of y'all should be ashamed of yourselves for the way y'all talking about him, because he was playing with Braun, who's the same version of Westbrook in terms of the play style. So Westbrook has to play off the ball and spot up. You think he's going to be effective? What are we talking about? You think Luka's Luka if he just had to spot up the whole time? Like, what are we talking about? Anyways, it's a different discussion. So Game 1, the Clippers won it. Game 2, the Suns won it. Obviously, you already know they have an uphill battle without PG. And I've always said, I thought that the Suns would win in 5. But because Kawhi is Kawhi, and I know who Kawhi is, I know playoff Kawhi is a different monster. He's going to elevate his team. Like, I understand intangibles. Like, when you have a killer on your team, everybody else who might not have been killers become killers. Everybody is the best version of themselves when you have the killer leading. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody becomes monsters now. So when you look at it from that perspective, like, and then guys like Westbrook who already were like that, they're even going to be more like that when you have a killer alongside you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that in itself is, and then you have Kawhi knowing who the killer actually is. It's guaranteed they're going to get 2 games. Even if they don't, and I still think it might have been 5, just because of Kawhi, my respect for him as a dog, and he's going by himself. He's going to get you 2 games. That's how different Kawhi actually is. So when we look at it from that perspective and we sit back, and this is underman without PG, right? Who was obviously your second best player. 1A, 1B type of thing. Then now, because we're not even going to talk about drop coverage. We're not even going to break it down into like the actual nitty gritty in terms of like what's going on in the actual series, because I was going to do that. But this threw for a loop when Kawhi was out in Game 3. Kawhi being out for Game 3, like the way they obviously ended up losing the game in Game 3, right? Obviously, dog, we can get into the context and show the clips. I'm not doing that shit. Because it was like, obviously, you're undermanned. So, like, there's only so much they could do. And yet they still pushed them and fought. The Kawhi mentality is still there. They still fought to the end. And, it came down to a couple possessions at the end of the day that, the D-Book had to put them away. And, D-Book and company and all of that, Chris Paul, KD, all of that, because they went on runs and, they just fought to the end. And they had to It came down to clutch. Even Chris Paul missing his free throws. It came down to that Bones Highland 3 that went boom, 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 and hit every crevice. And because of extra bounce, now what's his name? Man wasn't able to get the rebound because he jumped too early. And then now KD gets fouled and he makes his 2 free throws, and that's lights out. Bring the mic out. Drop it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you look at it from that perspective, like, the fact that it came down to that scenario is already Kawhi's identity on the team, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, the Clippers have a chance, if they could ever just stay healthy, to do some damage. But we're past that. The fact that Kawhi could be out for a playoff game in game 3, like, my first instincts, like, let's talk about Kawhi, because this is what this video is really about. Like, because you see Stephen A talking about, like, Kawhi's the worst superstar. And when you look at it from just an objective perspective, take away, like, when you just look at it, the fact that Kawhi just always, lately, has been injured in, like, a couple of years and has been missing these playoff opportunities in his Clippers stint, barely playing games. Like, he's only played like 35. Like, when you just look at the percentage of games he's played and you just look at the optics, it looks horrendous. It looks like you can't trust Kawhi. It looks like, why are you trying to trust Kawhi, etc. But I look at it from a different perspective. So, a lot of y'all, rightfully so, I'm not mad at y'all, because you have to have it's just me. I'm just a different level of, I hoop for real. So when I see certain things as a hooper, as a guy who's of that ilk, like, when I'm on the court, I get bucket. Like, it's different. I'm not going to, what they say, toot your own horn or whatever they say. But whoever who's seen me in prime and whoever who's seen, you know what I mean, they know what it is. I don't need to say nothing. But when you come from this type of mentality, like, I hoop for real. Like, it's one of them. So when I see certain things, I know off the rip, that guy is also one of them on a different tier. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Great minds think alike type of thing. Like, you just see certain things that, like, all right, I don't have to ever worry about you. From Kawhi, I saw enough, more than enough, that I don't ever have to worry about you in terms of, like, if that guy is not going to play on the court, it's because he actually can't play. It's the same thing with when KD was, during the when they're like, oh my God, his Achilles and all that. Remember the whole situation with the Warriors? Like, if KD's not out there, it's because he can't be out there. If Klay's not out there, it's because he definitely can't be out there. He's not going to take the easy route and just be so, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain guys who might, like, their pain threshold is lower. And other guys, even KD's pain threshold could be lower, but the level of dog that's in him, his pain threshold is going to rise to what it is going to rise past. Like, his pain threshold is going to automatically increase when it's that time, when it's playoffs. Regular season, and I'll be like, yo, dog, I'm not even going to risk whatever. But, like, playoff time, like, important pivotal games, like, the guys of these ilk don't miss them. Like, they're not. If you're of that ilk. And forget even that, when I seen certain things, like, you having an uphill battle, you having a most elite defender on you, and you take over. Like, you've done the impossible, or you've done the, like, when other mans would shy away, palms get sweaty and stuff like that. Your palms don't. Like, when I say I mean I seen enough. That's where it doesn't matter what happens. My confidence in your ability and my confidence in who you is doesn't ever waver. Even if you have a bad day and whatever, I just look at it as you have a bad game. Like, perfect example, like Zach Levine. When he faced the Raptors, how he took over and how he was killing. When he was facing the next game in the play-in versus the Heat, he was still attacking. He was still shooting, even when he was bricking, even when he was playing atrocious. Same thing like Westbrook, even when he was playing atrocious. But it's different because when you're skilled and you're shooting it, some guys, this is why I say I don't ever have any trust in DeRozan. Doesn't matter how many game winners he has in regular season. Like, I will never believe in him in playoff time. That's just me, because when I seen certain things, like DeRozan will do shimmies in the regular season. He'll do elite bucket getting takes. And once it's playoff time, once he misses one or two of those, he shies away from those takes. And now he's just he's trying to draw foul, or he's just attacking. He doesn't do the same, or he'll just pull up. He'll just do, like, basic takes for what his skill set operate. When great defenders are on you and guys are trying, you're going to have to go deep in your bag sometimes. And it's going to be great defense versus great offense. That's what it's going to have to be, because only that great offensive move is what's going to work in that skilled scenario, because that they have the best defender on you. He countered you 3, 4, 5 times. Like, you're going to have to do the Kyrie when he had Davion Mitchell on him. Half spin, half spin fake. Or like, you're going to have to bring out the bag and do 5 counters to get this shot off, and it's still going to be contested, and he splashed it. Like, there's a level of, like, when you have the best guy on you, it's like a boxing fight. Like, is the best elite guy, best guy, like, come on now. Certain moves, like, he's going to dodge that. Counter. Are you going to overcome that? You're going to have to dig deep. It's not easy. So DeRozan doesn't dig deep. His bag changes depending on the big game it is, depending on the clutch, and that's just nerves. There's nothing else besides that. As a hooper, as someone who's been in those scenarios, that's the only thing. When a guy changes drastically like that, it's just your palms are sweaty. There's nothing else. Like, it's a deer in headlights. That's all that is. And I see through that. A lot of y'all don't see that. I see that. So that's why that guy, I know if he comes clutch, it's like, I'm surprised. Which is why he'll miss the free throw. Levine didn't miss any free throw. Like, there's levels. You get what I'm saying? Kawhi, KD, MJ, Kobe, they're of this level where they will still apply like KD did a spin 3 and tried to win the game from 3. His foot was just on the line for a game. In the most pressure situation, he did a most difficult take he hasn't even done. A spin 3, fam. Because that's what was required in that situation. I'm not going to be able to get to the paint. I'm tired. I only have like a 1-2 dribble radius because they're going to trap me. There's no spacing right there. Drew Holiday right there. I got to spin back. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the level of trust I have, because I seen Kawhi apply like you've seen that in that Raptors run, even while he had a knee injury. So that's why, to me, injury didn't really faze me with Kawhi, because I'm like, it's just unfortunate. If he's able to play, even if he's injured, he gonna play. I seen him like dunk and his whole knee is hobbled. Like, as the series got on, his knee was getting worse and worse, and he still was getting buckets in the same way as when he was hella strength. You could see his takes was more grounded. He just applied more skill, applied more strength to the chest, broke Looney's chest. Like, he was still dunking. Like, he still had a level of I play through. So Kawhi, and when I say in Kawhi I trust, I believe that to a magnitude that a lot of y'all was past a lot of y'all, because a lot of y'all, rightfully so, it's not like you're wrong. When Kawhi would do this load manage, when he would get injured and he's out for the whole season, out for the whole playoffs, and it comes back and he's still load managing and barely playing in resident. A lot of people were like getting tested, like, dog, Kawhi, who are you, fam? Like, are you just an injury man? Like, is that like, it's frustrating for a lot of people. And a lot of people was messaging me like, dog, what is this shit? Like, how could you still root for the Clippers? Like, the Clippers, I'm off them. Like, a lot of people were just off them. A lot of people like, because when you get the injury is just too much, yo. It's too much. You come back to injury. It's not even like, at least with KD, when he comes back, he's playing, and then just a freak accident. It's like not even a freak accident. It's just like you can't even just play, fam. Like, so it's like, it's just frustrating from Kawhi fans and just Clipper fans. But I was always staying the course, and I said, dog, when it's playoff time or when it's close to it, he'll turn up. He'll be there. In Kawhi, we trust. Unless he has for him to not play, he has to have a catastrophic injury. He's doing this load management shit during the regular season and picking his spots because he knows I want to be 100 going into playoff. I don't have enough in the tank. I don't have enough in the legs. In these, I know he has chronic knee injuries, where it's like me, I have chronic knee injuries where it's wear and tear. So you have to now, you can never play 82 games. It's not built like that. It's just wear and tear. Cartilage, there's damage to it. It can't regrow. It's certain shit that bone on bone. So I have to pick my spots. If I have to play 60 or 50 and make sure that I'm 100 at the playoff time, because we know you're going to get banged up playoff time, but I'm at least at my best during playoff, I have to pick and choose. So you forgo all that regular season shit, all that MVPs. I don't have enough to do all of this. So let me play the back half and be strong for the playoff and elevate and be them. I elevate my game toward those guys who are regular season who downgrade their game. I'd be maybe averaging 24, 23, 22, 25 in regular season. In some games, not all the games. I'm not in all these, all NBA. All of that shit is foregone. But when it's playoff time, now I'm averaging 35. I take that because he's there when it matters. And I saw that with Kawhi enough times that I trust in it. So that's why people are like, then they see the last 2 months, Kawhi snapping regardless, going to work. People are messaging, all right, I see the trust. I see what you mean. I'm someone who trusts through all of this shit. I've never wavered with Kawhi. Never. Y'all follow. Y'all know. This was the first time for him to be out game 3. My instincts was to be like, yo, dog. That was the first time I said to myself. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't say it on public, but I'm telling y'all. The first time I actually thought internally in my soul, when that happened, I was like, all right, Kawhi. Like, for you to miss game 3, I was like, all right, we might have to reevaluate some things here. That's the first time I ever said that to myself. Like, about Kawhi. Through everything. This is the first time I actually said, yo, for you to miss game 3, and not only just miss game 3 versus this type of team where you can't afford any games to miss. It's not like if this was like they were the number 1 seed, they're facing the Timberwolves, or you know what I mean, whatever. Like, but this is like 4 or 5. Like, you stole a game, you could win it. Like, you could win this series if Kawhi is Kawhi in every, like, he can't miss a game, he can't even have a bad game, like, for them to even have a shot. Because even when he's him, they still could lose in 5. So, like, now you just don't miss in a game just to miss. So my first instinct when I just saw the title and missed a game, like, that was my first instincts. But I calmed myself down and said, all right, think to yourself. Because I was going to come here and destroy Kawhi. I was going to come here and be like, just how Steven and all these guys are destroying Kawhi. But I you know me, it's about context. It's about IQ. Take away feelings. Take away all of that. Assess. And let's have a real conversation based off of the context, the IQ, and just what the context is of who is who. Every context is different depending on who each player is. The character is different. The mentality is different. All of that. So when you look at it from that perspective, I sat back and I said, all right. Then I said, okay, for Kawhi to miss a game 3, if I'm surprised, me, not y'all, me, who knows Kawhi's of that ilk and knows he's not going to miss no game. Like, I seen him with the Raptors injured and not miss a game. I seen that. For a team that he already knew he wasn't going to stay with. And he still gave it his all because at the end of the day, if I'm on the court, if I have a chance to win a ring, I'm winning a ring, fam. No matter who I'm with. Like, that's his mentality. Like, we're going in Oracle, you stupid. We taking 2. Y'all just satisfied with 1. I'm trying to take 2, fam. Like, that's what that was. Like, that's who Kawhi is. So when you know that context and he's out for a game 3, 1, it has to be serious. My first instinct is to go, yo, is that the same ACL? Is this the chronic? Is this who he is now that he's going to be missing even playoff games? He's going to be have to load manage in playoff games too. Now he's going to have to pick his spots. Like, that's a real, like, that changes things in how you build your team and, like, do you really take Kawhi or not? Because that's different. Like, I still would take him because he's just that much different when he plays. Like, he's a different caliber of hooper. Like, you've seen it. Even just in game, he's different when it matters. When it's time, like, the level of, like, he's here, yo. While a lot of y'all are down here. Like, he's on a, like, you don't have to, like, get rebound to steal. Like, he's Cookie and Katie. Like, come on now. Like, he's different. So the way I see Kawhi is different than a lot of how I see him on the Kobe MJ level. Like, he just doesn't get to play enough. He's just injury prone. But, like, he's the mentality, skills, he's of that ilk. I seen it. Y'all might not understand it how I understand it, but a lot of people, you know, the hoopers know, the purists know. I seen it, so I already know, like, he's on a different level. So I give him whatever he wants. If he needs to miss 1 game in every series, like, I just have to adjust now the way I move. Sorry, y'all. Just have to adjust the way I move. But so I relaxed and I was like, all right, game 3. All right, what really happened? And then they said that he sprained his knee late in game 1, and he actually played through it in game 2 and was still frying. Didn't say nothing. No one would have known. Typical Kawhi. So that lets me know, okay, he's still him. It's not just his body is broken. He actually had a unconventional, unfortunate land or whatever happened. Something happened in the game. So it's not like it's just like his knee just gave out and it's just all these other things. And that's what I thought it was. It's like he just had to load manage because his knee can't take the pain and it has nothing to do with like how he landed. It's literally just him running and playing and jumping. It's just eventually wear and tear. So that's what I thought it was originally. So that's why I was coming to go off. But when I found out that he actually sprained it in a game, then it's just unfortunate. It just happens. It's just unfortunate because of his history. He's always injured. So now you look at it different. But it's the same thing with KD. Man's land on him randomly. Like, it's unfortunate. It's not like there's something stopping them from hooping at this elite level. It just happened in a game. It's just something sometimes happen to them more often than others, which is unfortunate, but it's not enough to change your viewpoint of them and change. Like, maybe now you just have to consider injury in more so when you do your predictions, right? When you do, this team's gonna, you have to say health. You have to, if healthy, then they could be here. You have to really like say if healthy, because something could always happen. The same thing with Chris Paul. If healthy, like, you have to just say it. It doesn't mean how they get rated changes now. So that's what I thought it was. So I'm here to, again, do what I do, calm a lot of y'all down. I know a lot of y'all gonna overreact. Same thing with PG, be injured. Clippers just always are injured. Even before PG, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. It's just, I don't know what it is with that organization. These niggas is always injured. So I understand that. So I understand how a lot of y'all were like, might jump off the bandwagon or might cuss Kawhi, and now he's in a whole day-to-day situation where now he might not even play game 4. Like, I think it's that bad. For him to not play, it's that bad. This is Kawhi we talking about. Like I said, he was injured from even before the Milwaukee series. Milwaukee series injury, played through it. Finals, played through it. So, like, he played through. You seen him, how he walking to sit down. Like, he played through. Different level of mentality to play through pain. Like, every jump is pain and just fighting through. Like, you're doing everything to fight through. So, like, y'all understand, like, I trust in Kawhi, but it's hard to after this. This was the only time I ever been tested with trusting in Kawhi. I've never not, like, I trusted in him in all scenarios. I never doubted. Like, I've only had that level of trust with MJ, Kobe, and KD and Kyrie in the finals. Like, other than those guys, those ilks, like the level of trust, and then Dame in clutch moments. Like, the level of trust that I have for, I haven't had that for, like, I don't think anybody else. That's the short list in terms of, like, wing positions and, like, and PGs. Like when I mean trust, and, like, if you miss, I'm like, you just missed. That's like, I don't think, like, other mans when they miss, I'm like, dog, your palms were sweaty. I could tell on your take you didn't even want that shot. You just shot it up. See, he misses. He's not of that. Like, those guys, if they miss, I seen enough that they just miss, fam. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you look at it from that perspective, this is just another one of those just unfortunate situations. You have to take it on the chin with Kawhi and not get too mad and just trust in it. And, like, it's unfortunate. It's going to test you. It's going to test, do you really follow and mess with Kawhi? Do you really trust in the Clippers? Like, it's going to test you. Like, this team, that's what I said to y'all. Like, Kawhi, PG, they're going to test your faithfulness. They're going to test you. They're going to test your loyalty. They're going to test your commitment. They're going to test your belief. They're going to test, like, at any superstars, they're going to test it. Same thing with Kyrie, and they're going to test it. KD with the injuries, they're going to test it. But if you really believe and you really see through and you really are a purist and you really understand the footage first, everything else second, and you really understand who is who, those shit's not going to matter. And that's how I feel with Kawhi. So, again, if you're watching this, I was going to go off. I really was. I had to pause myself. And so they end up losing the game. Obviously, Kawhi not there. If they won that game, that's damn near impossible. And they still fought. So tip your hat off to the Clippers. Like, Ty Lue's identity is there. Kawhi's identity is there. You know what I mean? Westbrook's identity is there. So, you see what you see. So, but we'll see what happens in game 4. It's a day-to-day. It's not looking good for them to say day-to-day. Like, he could maybe play. But they said things didn't get better after game 2. For Kawhi to be shut down in any playoff game, it's 100%, 1,000% severe, which is why Ty Lue said a blow. It's a big blow. Like, it's devastating, because you don't say that if this is minor. He wouldn't even be missing a game if it's minor. So we'll see where it goes. This is a day-to-day. We'll see what goes. But I still, no matter what, even if he doesn't play another game for this series, it's just unfortunate. Regardless, PG was out, so how much could they have really done? Rest yourself. Try to, like, come on, let's get one good season, fam. Let's get one good season. Even if this is not the season, let's get one good season. It's tough because, you know what I mean? The more you wait to get yourself healthy and have that one great season, powers like KD just get better and better in terms of the Suns. Now they have another season under the belt. They get better. Like, so it gets harder. So, but again, Clippers are, I think they're team constructed. They are a dangerous team. They just need to be healthy. Like, you see it. So everybody sees it. You saw, even with just Kawhi, you saw it. So tip your hat off, to the Clippers without him. But we'll see how it goes, man, with that injury. We'll see how it goes. Again, Clippers faithful, Kawhi faithful. If you hear from me, if when True talks, you listen. Trust. You've seen what you saw in game 1. After, even in game 2, while injured, you've seen what you saw from Kawhi in game 2. Don't overreact and just start getting off the Kawhi bandwagon, trust in him. Believe that he's really injured, he's really hurting, and he can't even lift off of it. Like, he can't put pressure on it. Like, it's one of those ones. So you just have to it's unfortunate to yourself, and just, I know it's a blow and it's sad and it's devastating because this was a series. Even if they didn't win, you're looking forward to seeing how Kawhi moves to get your trust back. And, like, I haven't seen him in 2 years. But you saw it just takes one game to, like, come on now. You've seen what you've seen. Deep down, like, you were watching that game and you were wowed by Kawhi not shrinking in the moment. You were wowed by that. So know that it's still there. It will always be there until he says, I'm retiring. So just trust in Kawhi. You hear it from me. Trust in Kawhi. In Kawhi, we trust. You know what I'm saying? Trust in him. So, you know what I mean? And it is what it is. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no doubt here. You feel me? Appreciate y'all. You already know. It's True Talks. It's True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. And I'm out, man.